In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. And 13 years ago, I found myself in a horror story of my own making. I used to live in New York City with my wife, Alice. I wrote crime novels starring a fictional detective named Alex Casey. They made me famous. But then I killed off Casey. What, now you can't even talk to me? I need to write something different. Something new, but nothing works. I can't take it.
Alan, you've been working on this for over 2 years. You need a break. I heard about this peaceful little town. It'll be the perfect place to clear your head.
So Alice convinced me to visit Bright Falls, a small, quiet town in Washington. Just what I needed. First, we stopped at the local diner to get our cabin key from the landlord. In the door, the waitress Rose recognized me. My books. After she made me promise her an autograph, I asked about the landlord. Rose said he must have gone to the restroom. I checked the back of the diner. It was dark, foreboding. The kind of place that made your skin itch. That's when Barbara Jagger appeared. An older woman in a vintage funeral gown, like something out of a 1960s horror novel. She said the landlord hadn't been able to make it and handed me the cabin key. She insisted she'd come by later to check on us and to meet Alice. Alice and I drove through the majestic landscape to our cabin. The little wooden house stood alone on a tiny island near the shore of Cauldron Lake, in the bowl of an impressive caldera.
Wow, it's gorgeous, Alan.
It's something, all right.
Are you sure you read the directions right? It's nothing like in the brochure. It said near the lake, not on it.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here. Alice, what is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here. That a change of
Damn it,
scenery would
Alice,
get
you-
past.
Everyone keeps...
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He
But so now
specializes
you
in
wanna get me
helping artists.
committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Don't! Just don't! I don't want to hear it! Oh no! When I came to, I was behind the wheel of a crash car on a forest road. I felt like I had woken up from one nightmare only to find myself in another. I remember diving in after Alice. So how was I here? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I'd planned to use for the next novel I'd never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. Departure by Alan Wake. The Taken stood before me. I found a page of writing, but it made no sense. A fragment of some demented horror story. I realized that the shadowy figure was the character from the page I just found. The Taken. A man taken over by a creature of supernatural darkness called the Dark Presence. Right. I'll keep writing. Outside, there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost. I would come to realize the lake does something to works of art created. It lifts the story from the page and gives it form, turns fiction into terrible truth. The manuscript was becoming real. I tried to hold on to Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman? I fell. What? No, you. I found myself stuck in Cauldron Lake Lodge, Dr. Hartman's clinic. He tried to convince me I was a patient of his, that I had imagined everything. I knew he was lying. Soon enough, his true colors would be revealed.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
The pages I'd been carrying with me were gone. I needed them back. They were the key to finding Alice, to understanding this mystery. I broke into Hartman's office to learn the truth. The manuscript pages were on his desk, the ones I had found and more. I confronted him, furious. He admitted he had been lying and tried to cut a deal with me. He was still trying to manipulate me, to use my writing for his own ends and to make the Dark Presence stronger in doing so. I dreamt of the night Alice went.
Alice!
In a dream, I found myself back at the cabin, just like the manuscript described. It felt like I was reliving a suppressed memory, a waking nightmare.
Alice!
This was my chance to find out what had happened to Alice. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Yes. All right. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back.